Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Today I'll be showing you guys how I made this beautiful and simple design. This is very similar to the prong ring tutorial I made over a year ago, and today we'll be making the pendant version of it. Now, before we get into the tutorial, I would like to answer some of the most frequently asked questions in regards to the prong ring tutorial. Also, if you haven't watched that video, the link is down at the description box. The first question that I get asked frequently is, can I use dead soft wire for the prong ring? And my answer to that is I don't really recommend it because I've tried it and it failed, unfortunately, because, you know, this is a very fragile frame. What I'm saying is you don't have a lot of wire that is covering the stone. So that means when you move around and it gets caught somewhere, there is a possibility that the stone will pop out from the frame. So like I said, I don't really recommend it. Okay, so next question. Can I use a thinner wire? Yes, you definitely can. Like I said, as long as it's half hard, it's totally fine. Like here, for example, I've used an 18 gauge half hard sterling silver wire on this ring. I've been using this ring for about a year now and the stone hasn't popped out yet. So yes, you definitely can. So the last question is, can I use round wire? Well, personally, I haven't used it, but in my head, it would be a yes and no. It would be yes if perhaps you file the underside of the wire to make sure that it sits flat on the stone's surface. Otherwise, it would be a no. And yeah, those were the frequently asked questions on the prong ring tutorial. I hope I was able to answer them. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to write them down at the comment section, or you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. And now I think we're ready to start the tutorial. First, we need to cut 3 wires of 16 gauge half hard square. We need 1 piece of 5-inch wire and 2 pieces of 4-inch wire. The next thing we're going to need is 1 piece of 18 gauge half hard, half round wire in 5 inches. Now this is going to serve as our wrapping wire. Next, we're going to mark the 5-inch square wire in the middle. Now take a step mandrel plier or round pliers to form a loop in the middle of the wire. Open the middle of the loop by using a flat nose plier while the loop is still on the mandrel. That way it will be easy to pry the wires open. Straighten them until they're parallel to each other. make sure that everything is straight, you can lightly hammer the wire. Next, mark the spot on the loop where you will add the bail later. Now take the two 4-inch square wires and mark the middle. Place the wires on both sides and keep the midpoints slightly lower than the loop. Next, we are going to take some painter's tape to keep all the wires together. Now, try to keep each wire as close to each other as possible. Fold the half-round wire that we cut earlier and start wrapping it around the base wires. Adjust and crimp the wires together as tight as possible. Next, remove the painter's tape and fold the wires into an angle. Now, I'm not good with math or geometry, so please don't ask me what angle they should be. If you want to be more precise though, you can use a cutting board with measurements on them. Now, place the stone on top of the frame and mark the wires around the stone. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, the size of the stone is 35 mil. Now, if you're going to use a bigger stone, of course, you can just use a longer wire. Next, we're going to fold the wires where we've marked them, pointing upwards. Then we will fold the middle wires outward and cut them. This will make sure that the loop is locked in place. Now, place the stone on top of the frame and start folding each wire diagonally. Fold them alternately to keep them balanced. Next, we're going to cut the excess wires. Whenever I do this, I usually keep the wire cutter parallel to the top of the stone. This creates a more tapered look, which I really like. Next, we're going to take some painter's tape and wrap the whole piece. This will help protect the stone while we file the wires. Use a box cutter to cut the tape around the prongs to expose them. Next, I'll be using a sanding disc to file the prongs. Of course, if you don't have a rotary tool, you can also use a diamond file to do this, and also some different sandpaper grits to smoothen them out. And lastly, I'll be using a steel wire brush to polish and smooth out the surface of the wires. This part is completely optional. If you're going to use a rope as a necklace, then you can skip this part. Otherwise, you can make a bail like what I'm making here, or you can just use a jump ring as a bail as well. And there you have it, guys. This is the finished product. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and have learned something new today. Please do like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, you can reach out to me through Facebook and Instagram if you have questions, suggestions, or would just like to say hi. All the links are down below at the description. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that these tutorials help you in your wire journey. Have a nice day and happy wrapping. Bye!